Hi. I have a lot of people asking me these days. It's funny that it comes in batches of more. I don't know what the correct word is in English. Like there will be this like a month where a lot of people are contacting me with the same issue. So right now, a lot of people are contacting me because they have been with a narcissistic partner and they have left that partner and they are willing to move on. They want to get beyond the trauma bonding and the trauma itself and get back to living healthily and normally. And they are wondering what they have to do to get rid of all the post-traumatic stress that is stored in their nervous system. And that's great. I'm so happy and I'm honored that people are contacting me and asking me. Also, I have some people contacting me that are new partners of people who have been with narcissists, and people who want to help their new partners get over the traumatic experience of being with a narcissist. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. When you're with a narcissist, what happens to you is that you start to be in high alert all the time. Your nervous system tenses up, even though you try to handle it and be smart and intelligent and talk to your friends about it, maybe even go into therapy. It sits in your nervous system. And when you're in a situation that reminds you of what you've been going through, what you've been experiencing, like someone says something or does something that kind of triggers what you've been through, you will experience kind of a post-traumatic stress symptom, and your body will tense up even more. So it's very normal. What you're going through is very normal. It's a healthy way that the body tells you that what you've been going through is really dangerous for you, and because you're in a situation where it feels like you're threatened on your life, not literally, but threatened on your existence. You're kind of being told that no matter what you do, it's never going to be good enough. So you can never be right, and that means that you're being told that your existence is not accepted, right? You're not accepted in the world in the form or the way you are, with the personality that you have. And your brain cannot understand that it's not a deadly threat. A threat like that is a deadly threat. And since you cannot just go away from the narcissist, it's really hard to leave, and it's really hard to leave severely toxic situations if you grew up in a home where you didn't learn how to handle toxic situations and set boundaries and remove yourself from toxic people. Then it can be really, really hard to handle. And that means that you're in a situation where your brain is telling you to get away, and at the same time there's something in you that's being held onto, which is what we call the trauma bond. You know that it's not good for you, and still you're not gonna leave. And the narcissist will often trigger cognitive dissonance, which means that they will say they love you, for example, but their actions will not match what they say. And that creates something in your brain called cognitive dissonance, which can, if you didn't grow up learning healthy boundaries and not to stay with toxic people, or you think you have to fix the world or fix your partner, if you're a person like that, you will experience cognitive dissonance as something that paralyzes you. It'll keep you where you are. It'll make it hard for you to act when something toxic goes down, like they will verbally abuse you or even physically abuse you or sexually, financially abuse you, which is something that narcissists can do, all of it. They have a wide range of abuse options to use to mess with your head. So this means that your brain you're experiencing something that you basically know that's not good for you, but you cannot remove yourself from it because of your history or what you've been taught that love means taking abuse, or love means being so loyal to a person that you will prioritize them over you. So that means your brain is kind of stuck in a rut. Like it's stuck, not in a rut, but it's stuck in a situation where it cannot make the decision that would be the best for you. And that sits in your nervous system. It kind of resides in your nervous system. And just because you leave the narcissist and you get away from the toxic situation doesn't mean that it will actually dissolve. It still sits in your nervous system. And you have to do something about this. And because it's in your nervous system, it's always good to talk. It's always amazing to be in therapy and to have someone to talk to and get concrete advice on specific situations. But other than that, you should work with your nervous system, and you do that better than any other way with your body, because the nervous system is not super highly affected by you talking blah, 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 blah. Your brain is, and then your brain will kind of influence your nervous system. But there's something else you can do that's much more efficient and much more effective when you're trying to release trauma from your nervous system and tell your nervous system that the world is a safe place and you can relax. And that's basically what we need to do when we've been with a narcissist. We have the idea that the world is a dangerous place. No matter what I do, it's never going to be good enough. I'll always be wrong. I'll always be flawed and at fault. And I have to always feel guilty, and I have to always make amends. So I have to be on guard all the time, ready to defend myself or explain why I did how I did, or take a scolding. And to get out of that, we have to kind of release the tension in the nervous system. So music is the activity, the only activity in the whole world that lights up all parts of your brain. Music is really amazing. And if you look at First Nation tribes all over the world, all of them have some kind of culture where they sing and play music and dance. And there's a good reason for that. And of course they didn't know that, but singing and dancing and playing music bonds us together. It creates a space that feels safe, where we can be who we are, where the body can express itself, where we feel that we do something together that's really nice and pleasurable. And it creates a safe space, and it bonds you with the people that you're dancing with. So a very tragic thing is that most first world countries have made dancing into something where you need to perform, you need to look a certain way, you need to dance a certain way, you need to move your body a certain way. And if you cannot do that, then you're doing it wrong, and you're looking like an idiot, and you're silly. And that means that the culture has basically taken away the best tool you have for healing yourself, which is music and singing and dancing. So you have to be able to sing really perfectly to be allowed to sing. You have to look cool when you're dancing to be able to dance, to be allowed to dance. And if you play music, then you have to do it perfectly, because otherwise you're an idiot. And I bet that 90%, maybe more, of us feel this pressure when we try to either play music or sing or dance. Like, oh my God, I'm so bad at it. But the thing is, if we didn't grow up in a family or a culture where it was natural for us to sing and dance and play music, it's still in our system. We still have it in our DNA and our history and our body. Our body knows what to do. We just have to kind of wake it up and remind it that this is how it is. And that's why we are seeing more and more that in first world countries, 5 rhythms, inner rhythms, ecstatic dance, stuff like that, all like safe spaces where you can unfold and let your body do what it needs to do, is growing and coming up and spreading, and more people, thank you, are seeing that this is amazing. And I do understand that when you start this, it feels really awkward because you've been told so many stories about how silly you look when you dance and how awful you sound when you sing and how terrible it is when you play music. But it's in your DNA, and that means that it's a language that you just have to relearn. And you know what it's like when you're trying to learn a new language. You have to say a lot of, make a lot of mistakes before you get it right. And then you get it right and you can start making sentences. Like when you're learning, I'm traveling in Mexico right now, and trying to learn Spanish, you have to get a word there, get a word there, get a word there. Try to put them together, make a mistake, say something silly or something funny or be completely misunderstood, and then learn from that mistake and then try again. So trial and error is a really important part of who we are as humans. No amazing thing would ever have been invented if people had been scared of trial and error, right? The people who invented everything we see in our world today, they tried a lot of times to experiment with different solutions before they came up with the right solution to whatever invention we're benefiting from, right? Stuff that didn't work, stuff that broke down, stuff that exploded, whatever. And you have to kind of get back into that mindset that trial and error is actually a good thing. It's not just okay, it's not just accepted, it is actually a good thing. Because while you are doing the trial and error thing, you are learning something about yourself. And you're letting go of old patterns that are telling you that you are not allowed to do trial and error stuff. You have to be perfect, preferably even before you try. I know, I grew up with a narcissistic father, so I know I was like that. If I can't do it perfectly, then I'm not doing it at all. I have tried to learn to play, I'm guessing around 10 different instruments, and failed miserable, because if I couldn't play perfectly after a month, then I didn't want to play at all. And of course, that's not the right way to go about it, but that was my programming from my parents, that I have to be perfect at everything I do, and preferably before I do it. I'm over that, I can tell you that, I don't care. Now, even my English, I will often make mistakes when I do videos, and it's okay. I don't need to be perfect anymore. I am perfect just the way I am. So what I recommend when you want to start healing from having been with a narcissist is that you put on some of your favorite dancing music, the music that you wish that you could just dance to freely, yeah? So put that on and just stand in the middle of your living room. And it's okay if you put it in headphones, and it's okay if you have it on a speaker, that's up to you. But stand in the living room and just close your eyes and start to sway back and forth to the music. Just sway back and forth. I mean, everybody can do that. There's no way you can do that wrong, swaying back and forth, right? And just sway back and forth, and then slowly start moving your arms. Just move those arms, you know? And then kind of try to switch your brain off and let your body do whatever it wants to. Maybe it wants to roll around on the floor. Maybe it wants to jump up and down. Maybe it wants to do something like this, you know? And try to be non-judgmental about it. Try to just let your body do whatever your body wants to do. It's always the right thing. Your body knows how to heal itself without the help from the brain, which is really, really amazing. So whenever it just, you know, if you want to heal, dance half an hour every day. Start with 5 or 10 minutes if you're not used to it, so you get into the rhythm of it. And it's a great thing if you can do it in the morning, because playing music in the morning will actually program your brain to have a brighter outlook, and releasing tension from your body as the first thing you do in the morning will actually energize you for the rest of the day. And even if something bad happens, you have a better chance of not being all messed up by it if you've been dancing in the morning. So if you can dance in the morning, that's the best thing. So you can dance whenever you feel anxious, whenever you feel angry, whenever you feel disappointed, whenever you feel frustrated, whenever you feel sad. Any of those negative emotions, so-called negative, because no emotion is really negative, but that's another video. So no emotion is actually negative, but if you have negative emotions, a good way to handle them is actually to dance them out. So if you're sad, for example, really, really sad, put on some really, really sad music and close your eyes and dance sad. What would it look like if your body were to move in a sad dance to the sad music? That's a really amazing way of healing. And I can tell you right now that there's like 1,000 different ways you can work with trauma in different kinds of therapy, but dancing is up there on the top. It's number one, because you're not using your brain, you're letting your body do the work. And at the same time, of course, you're moving your body, which gets your blood rolling and starts to make the brain create some substances that will make you more happy. And on a long-term basis, you will be more happy generally if you dance every day. So if you can dance just 10 minutes every day, you're doing yourself a huge favor, and you are using tool number one to heal from any trauma, whether it's being with a narcissist or growing up in a dysfunctional family or having been in an accident or having been traumatized in any other way. Dancing is the number one way to deal with it. So of course I cannot tell you that you have to dance or you must dance, but I would strongly recommend that you actually take some time and dance. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for listening. I hope you take this with you and use it. And if you like this video and my other videos, don't forget to subscribe and like and share and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Take care of you. Bye.